final word's totally going to be zombie Taliban.
Stop it!
We can't steal the zombie Taliban.
You can't do that. Intellectual property.
Already, while I was sitting here, very quickly. Welcome to NewsBeast year-end wrap-up. Today we're talking about what I think is probably the biggest stories of the year, conflated. The death of Osama bin Laden and the Arab Spring.
I'm scared.
Did that scare you a little bit?
That gesture was a little scary.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to unnerve you, but it's an unnerving subject.
It has.
So that's a good segue. I got to say, just the death of Osama bin Laden, that is one of the great moments in our recent history.
It was definitely
Very
the
satisfying.
high of this year.
It
Definitely.
was. Unfortunately, the high didn't last. It lasted about 24 hours.
Last for me, I'm still buzzing on it. I think it's great.
Obama's approval ratings, anyway.
That's
tend
true.
to register much of a high after about 24 hours.
Yeah,
true.
but you know, his approval ratings could be a lot worse.
That's true, but don't forget, this was an incredibly gutsy raid. Not just the call of the raid, but of course the Navy SEALs and Team 6 who did this. I mean, this is all-time heroics. And the fact that bin Laden was apparently obsessed with pulling off another major attack on the 10th anniversary and was denied the possibility to do so, and the dismantling of the al-Qaeda apparatus, not just bin Laden, but al-Awlaki and a number of different other leaders, this has been a phenomenal year for killing that snake.
There's so much of the story that we don't know, so it's easy to write a very happy narrative over top of a lot of question marks, but there's every reason to believe that there was just an enormous trove of intelligence data that they gathered in that raid, and that in many ways is as valuable or more valuable than the actual death of Osama bin Laden.
It's a great point.
And the narrative of the people behind the raid, SEAL Team 6, just becoming
incredible.
such an unbelievable story of accomplishment, of dedication. This team of Marines, I mean, it's already being adapted to a film for very good reason.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like a great moment of American heroism and bravery.
In every way, shape, and form.
That we really needed, because those moments have been few and far between.
They have indeed.
They have. So the celebrations down by Ground Zero were amazing to see in terms of us coming full circle at the time. At the same time, who knew that a few months later we'd see right around that place, we'd see Occupy Wall Street. I do not want to compare Occupy, and I totally reject the comparison to the Arab Spring, even though people have done it a lot. I think it's an idiotic comparison. The Arab Spring, on the other hand, has been the most amazing thing to watch and witness. I mean, in the beginning of this year in January, when a fruit grocer in Tunisia lit himself on fire to protest the bureaucracy in that country, and that fire of uprising against dictatorships reaching across North Africa and now into Syria, still unfolding, a lot of question marks, but an amazing moment of human freedom, potentially at least, that feels like it's one of these 1989 moments.
Yeah, I remember the first protests in Egypt and reading about them in the paper and just feeling so stirred by all of this and so hopeful. It's been rough, I think, to watch it play out in the many ways it has. And even in those super hopeful early moments, one had a feeling that there are so many ways that this could go bad, and we've seen some of the ways and certainly there's plenty of cause for hope going forward, but it makes me nervous about 2012. 2011 seemed to be a moment, just a rush of hope and of possibility, and then 2012 will be when things are decided, when we see the consequences to that euphoric period.
Euphoria doesn't last. You have to. There's the reality of governing that comes after toppling a dictator.
What do you think 2012 holds?
Yeah, let's do a quick look forward and then we'll wrap up.
I think we'll see, as Rebecca mentioned, a lot more turbulence, a lot more chaos. A government is not going to arise in a matter of months, particularly when they're starting from such a place of just minor chaos. So unfortunately, I think we're looking at a lot more violence.
Rebecca?
Oh, I don't know. I want to hear your I have no idea.
I just, let's take a page from what happened in 1989 and as the Iron Curtain fell. Václav Havel died this week, one of my heroes. His core message was about honesty, individual responsibility, and generational responsibility, that people had to take responsibility for their revolution, and it was the follow-through that mattered. And that's going to be the real challenge, to see whether that can be sustained culturally. Final word.
Hope, as cheesy as it is.
That's not cheesy. We like hope. Rebecca?
Spring, as we look forward to the next spring for the Arab world.
I'm going with freedom. That's all for us at NewsBeast today. It's been a fun 2011. We'll see how 2012 turns out. Let's face it with hope.
Rolling, right?
Yes.
Yeah.